Now, if you're buying property with another person, you're going to be asked at some point, how do you wish to hold the property, as joint tenants or tenants in common? And you probably want to know, well, what's the difference? Well, it all comes down quite morbidly to what happens when you die. So under joint tenancy, if the other person dies, then you will automatically inherit their share in the property. That happens without the operation of the will, it happens automatically. So it's quite a neat thing because it can deal with the property without the need of having to get probate or letters of administration. For that reason, it is a very popular choice amongst married or de facto couples. Now, what happens if you have a family law separation or if the relationship breaks down? Very often, the last thing that someone wants is for their ex-partner to inherit everything in the case they die. Can you sever the joint tenancy? Absolutely you can. It's a very easy step that a solicitor can take for you and a very cheap one to do. The alternative to joint tenancy is to hold a property as tenants in common. Under a tenants in common, you have a discrete shareholding in the property. And if one of the shareholders dies, well, their shareholding in the property is dealt with by their estate, either through their will or if they've died without a will through the laws of intestacy. Under tenants in common, you can hold it as a 50-50 ownership or 70-30 or even 90-91. Tenants in common is a popular choice for people who aren't married or in a de facto relationship, and therefore it's quite common for those two parties to enter into what's called a tenants in common deed. The tenants in common deed regulates their respective rights to one another. For example, what happens if one party wishes to sell and the other doesn't? Normally a tenants in common deed regulates all that. If you want to know more about a tenants in common deed, please ask us and we can let you know.